Welcome, yogis. Today we have a crown chakra centered yoga class. This is going to be Hatha style with a few Kundalini elements. You will want probably a cushion to sit up on. Sitting up on a cushion just helps us sit a little bit taller, and we really want to get really tall from the tail to the crown of the head today. Now, the crown chakra, if you don't know, is our connection to whatever higher power you might believe in. So we're going to be meditating on that a little bit today, working with the head and the balance between the two sides of the body. So when you have your cushion, go ahead and sit up tall, sitting on the edge of your cushion, crossing the legs, closing the eyes, inhaling to get tall and wide, belly pushes out, and exhale, relax everything down as you release the breath. Inhale. Feeling the breath rise all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhale, this energy descends from crown down back into the tail. Keep breathing, moving this ball of light from the tail all the way up to the crown on the inhale. Letting the ball drop on the exhale. Inhale, pelvis, navel, rib cage, throat, crown. And exhale, this light, this ball of energy going back down. Just visualizing it, purifying up and down as it moves through your body. Inhale, belly expands, ribcage expands. Exhale, send the energy back down, navel contracts into the spine. Keep breathing. And at the top of your next inhale, maybe keep this ball of light or energy at the crown of the head, or even just above the head. You can visualize this glowing light blooming into 1,000-petal lotus. Just blooming above your head, inhaling to get tall. Exhale, shoulders relax. Now bring your attention to your hands. You can open your eyes for a second if you like to see what I'm talking about. We're going to take our hands in Lotus Mudra. So pinky tips join together, crests of the thumbs and the thumbs join together, and we'll open our fingers as if it is a crown. So take Lotus Mudra at the heart center. Close your eyes once again, tuning back in with the breath, feeling this opening in the hands. And on the next inhale, lift your lotus crown above the head, arms straightening. And we'll stay here for a few rounds of breath. You can gently bend your elbows as if you're placing the crown upon your head, resting the crests of your hands on your head. And visualize the light pouring into the crown chakra from between your hands. while simultaneously light is being shot from your crown chakra out and above you. Sticking with your breath. Inhale, lift your crown, straighten the arms, and bring your hands back down to heart center. You can release the mudra, take some circles with your wrists, go in one direction, and then take some wrist circles in the opposite direction. Eyes can stay closed here. Hands come to either side of your hips on the mat. Inhale, lift the right arm high to the ceiling, maybe gaze at the fingertips. And we'll take this into a side stretch. So leaning the right hands to the opposite side of the room, making a long line of energy from your hip points to your fingertips, and pressing into the left palm. Think of spinning your heart open here. We don't want to be collapsing forward. Open heart. And keep visualizing energy shooting from the crown of your head. Just a long line of energy, tail to crown. You can bend and unbend the elbow here. You might feel that in your shoulder. It might make you feel the stretch a little deeper into the right hip. And exhale, release the right arm, hands coming back to the mat. Press now into the right palm. We'll take it to the other side. Inhale up, left hand comes up and over. Reaching to the side of the room. Play with where your gaze is here. You can look up at the hands, or you can look down at your mat, maybe moving a little bit in the elbow. Breathing into the left hip. Shoulders stay relaxed. And release your left hand back down to the mat. Hands come palm down on the knees. And let's take some head circles. So very slowly, very gently, we want to be mindful when taking neck circles to avoid injury. So exhale, dipping the chin to the chest, just rounding from right ear to left ear. Moving really, really slowly, inhaling the head back. Not going as far as we maybe could, but backing off just a little. Staying on the safe side, dip the chin, exhale, and continue on your own. As if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling from the head of your crown, from the crown of your head. Exhale when the chin is forward. Inhale, chin is lifted. Being mindful not to collapse in the spine. Shoulders are relaxed. And come to neutral at the center on your next exhale. And we're going to switch directions, taking it to the other side, opposite direction. Still inhaling when the head is back. Exhaling when the head is forward. Make sure that you are lifting out of the pelvic bowl here, not collapsing in the spine. Just keep breathing. Keeping your attention on the crown of the head. And let's take 10 breaths like this on your own. Inhaling when the head is back. And exhaling when the head is forward. And 3 more rounds of breath. And let the breath move you here. Become the breath. And on your next exhale, we'll bring the neck down, chin to chest. Then take your right hand, cup your chin, and just sort of return your head to its normal position. Let's extend into a wide-legged seated position. You can keep sitting up on your cushion or block, or if you don't want to do that, you can sit on the floor. We're gonna inhale up. Exhale to bow forward, reaching for the toes. If you can't reach the toes, take it to the shins. Inhale, sitting up as straight as you can. Exhale, bow forward. Continue like this, inhaling up, exhaling down. Connecting with that crown chakra here too. You can imagine that you are shooting light from the crown of your head or drawing some sort of light show across the room. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Becoming the breath. We're going to continue for 2 minutes doing this exercise. So if your mind starts to wander, you may use the affirmation, I am a spiritual being in a human body. Inhale up. Exhale down. Long, beautiful spine. From the tailbone to the crown of the head. I am a spiritual being in a human body. And on the next inhale, maybe get a little longer in the spine. Maybe pull up in the pelvic floor. When you exhale, you might bend a little deeper. And the last few seconds. And inhale all the way up, coming to a neutral spine, hands on the thighs. And pause. Now bring the legs together. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me better, and you can stay up on your cushion here if you like. Extending the legs, inhale up. And exhale, fold forward. If you want, you can grab those toes, but it is not necessary. Just go as far as comfortable for you. And just visualize the light spilling everywhere from the crown of your head. Just bathing the area all around you. Inhale, press into the palms, press yourself back up, moving nice and slow. We're going to swing our legs to either side so that we can come into tabletop pose. Taking our wrists under our shoulders, stacking our knees under our hips. Press into your palms, press into your foundation. Curl the toes under and start to lift your hips, straightening the legs, coming back to downward facing dog. Walk the dog, pedal through the legs. Keep breathing. Inhale, right leg comes up, three-legged dog. And exhale, bend the right knee, stacking through the hips. Really press into your hands here. Eyes can be open or closed. Long line of energy from heel to crown. And we'll take a few more breaths here. If this is too much, return to three-legged dog or downward facing dog. Two more breaths, stack the hips. Last breath, inhale. And exhale, lower the knee. We're going to release the knee to the mat, but instead of lining up the right knee with the right wrist here, take the right knee in towards the center of the mat, so equal distance from either hands. Swing the right foot over towards the left side of the mat. And now the left knee is going to come right behind the right knee. Left foot comes to the right side of the mat. And nice and slow, we're going to start to walk ourselves back, rolling over the hips to find ourselves in cow face pose with the knees stacked one on top of the other. Let me adjust myself for the frame. Heels come in close toward the thighs. When you're here, I like to keep my hands just on the tops of my feet. Inhale to get tall through the spine. And like the beginning of our class today, this is a good place to play with an ascending and descending ball of energy. So imagine that ball of energy is back in your tailbone, your very roots. Inhaling to lift this light all the way up into the crown. Exhaling, energy flows back down towards the ground from the crown of the head. And if this is enough for you and you want to stay here, go ahead. If you'd like to go a little bit further, we can start to walk our upper body forward. And just release the upper body over the legs, relaxing the shoulders. Hips stay grounded, even here. Keep playing with the connection between the tail and the crown of the head. Inhaling the ball of energy up. Exhaling energy back down. And we're here for 3 more breaths. And on your next inhale, press into the palms. If you are folded forward, start to walk it back up. Release the legs. You can come to a cross-legged position to crawl back forward into tabletop. Stacking wrists under the shoulders. Knees come down under the hips. Root into your hands, curl your toes under, and press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, inhale up. Exhale, step it through. Right foot comes in between the hands. We're gonna let the back knee drop down, uncurl the toes, coming into our low lunge, legs energetically scissor towards one another, and inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, expanding through the heart. Exhale, palms come together. Let's find our Lotus Mudra, so thumbs and pinkies join, fingers spread wide. Inhale, lift your crown above the head. Deep bend a little deeper into the front knee. And exhale, wear the crown. And visualize light just pouring, funneling into your crown. Last breath. And release the hands. Palms come down to frame the foot. Curl through the back foot, curl the toes under, lift the leg, step back into downward facing dog. Pausing here. Then gently let the knees come down. Uncurl the toes. And walk it back to child's pose, Balasana. Fingertips can come in a diamond shape above the crown of the head. Do a quick body scan. Notice how you feel. Keep anchoring your mind with the breath. Inhaling to expand and exhaling to contract. On your next inhale, bring energy back into your hands. We're gonna walk back forward into tabletop, coming towards the top of our mats. Press into your hands, curl your toes under, and we'll lift our seat, straighten our legs into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg, bending through the left knee, stacking the hips, three-legged dog on the opposite side. And we're here for 3 more breaths. Keep breathing. And exhale, lower that top leg. We're going to rock forward into plank, releasing the left knee to the middle of the mat. Take the left heel towards the right side of the mat, setting up for cow face, Gomukhasana on the other side. So right knee is going to come in really close to the left knee here. Right heel comes to the left side of the mat, and we're gonna walk it back nice and slow, just like before. Finding our seated cow face pose. Adjust your heels, adjust however you need. Place your hands on your feet, close your eyes. You can sit on a cushion here if you're finding your spine is a little crunched up. And inhaling energy down into the earth. And exhale, get tall. And if you like, you can start to crawl your fingers forward and come into a forward fold. Just relaxing the upper body. Maybe dip the chin. And just a few more breaths here. Noticing any thoughts that come up and letting them go. Hip points stay grounded into the mat here. Shoulders relax. And on the next inhale, press into your hands. If you are folded forward, start to walk your fingers back, lifting the upper body. We're gonna uncross the legs. Maybe come to cross-legged, but just so we can rock forward into tabletop pose. So find your wrists under your shoulders. Knees are gonna come underneath the hips. Press into your palms. Lift the hips, straighten the legs. Downward facing dog. You can walk the dog, prance through the legs. Inhale, left leg comes up this time. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. One more. Inhale up. Exhale to step it through. Plant the front foot between the palms. Release the back knee to the mat. Go slowly. Be mindful. Legs energetically moving towards one another. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, elbows come together, palms come together. And let's find our Lotus Mudra. Pinkies and thumbs together, fingers extend. Inhale, lift your crown. Imagine that light funneling between your fingers down into your head. And exhale, bring the crown down. Wear the crown. We're here for 4 breaths. Keep breathing. Last round. Release the hands, palms came down around the feet. Press into your palms, curl the back toes under, and we'll step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, melt your hips down towards the mat. Uncurl your toes. Crawl your feet back just a little bit and walk your palms forward, coming into seal pose. And think of dragging your heart forward and pulling your tail back. Visualizing a ball of light above the crown of your head. Close your eyes if they aren't already. If you're feeling a pinch in the lower back, walk your hands farther forward. And remember that this pose is all about length rather than height. We'll be here for 5 breaths. If you'd like to go one step further, you can lift the shins, lifting your feet, bending at the knee. Yogi's choice, one is not better than the other. And release the legs. Let your heart melt down to the mat. Pausing here in the prone position. Hands come underneath the shoulders to press back into child's pose. Nice and slow. And reach back and grab the heels. Relax the shoulders. Take your palms beneath your shoulders, press up. Coming back to a seated position. We'll pause here in rock pose. Do a body scan. Maybe notice if you are feeling a little bit more buoyant. Hopefully you are. And just feeling this long line of energy flowing from the tail up through the crown, from the crown down into the tail. Now swing the feet to one side or the other. We're going to come to sit on our bottoms. You can adjust your clothing if you need to. Scoot to the center of your mat. And if you have a block handy, go ahead and grab it. I just caught mine out of the corner of my eye. We're going to do one final pose before Shavasana. So roll down onto your back. And we're going to do legs up the wall. So if you have a block, you can take this block under your lower back. Keep it, I would say, on the lowest level here. Bring your knees up and straighten your legs. And you should feel the energy flowing from the roots back down into the crown here. If you do not have a block, come down to the floor, really seal your back with the floor, and then just take in your knees and extend your legs, legs up the wall. And if you have a wall nearby, you can literally scoot up to the wall and do legs up the wall. So totally up to you, yogi's choice. I'm gonna use the block. I think that feels yummy. And we're gonna stay here for 12 breaths. Palms can come face up. Make sure your shoulders aren't crowding your ears here. Neck stays long. Close your eyes. And it's okay if your legs aren't straight. They can be bent here. Feeling the energy flowing in the opposite direction. I am a spiritual being in a human body. Stick with your breath. I am a spiritual being in a human body. Now bend one knee into the chest, wherever you're at, then the other knee. And just give yourself a hug. Apanasana. Now lowering the legs, be mindful if you still have the block. We're going to take Right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor. Press into your feet. Lift your hips so you can remove your block. And extend your right leg. Extend your left leg. Coming to Shavasana. And let all muscular engagement go. Maybe visualizing light here, or the 1,000-petal lotus. And tip the chin to keep the neck long. And relax the muscles of the face, relax the jaw. Roll over onto either side into a fetal position. Pause here. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. And then press into your palm, press into your arms, coming back up to a seated position. Head is the last thing to rise. You can bring your hands together at prayer, dip the chin, gently open the eyes. And we'll conclude our practice today with a single chant of Om. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale to chant. Om. Namaste. You can bow if you like. Take the knuckles of your thumbs to your third eye. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Hopefully you are feeling totally zened out after today's practice.